All right, everyone. In this video, we are going to look at three sunburst visualization. In the earlier video, we looked at the decision tree model for claims and weather data to predict the total claim amount. So we have the customer information, the vehicle information, the coverage information, the accident information, and we used that to build the decision tree model to estimate the total claim amount, right? So now, if you look at it, the decision tree is a hierarchy, and we traverse the tree starting from the root node down to the terminal node to read the rules. However, notice that the decision tree model does not explicitly show the percentage of data to which the rule applies. I would have to physically hover the node to see that information. Like, for example, I have to hover over this node here to see that 63% of my claims are for suburban location, right? But what if I want to visualize the percentage of rules, the percentage of claims to which the rule applies, right? So let's go ahead and let's collapse the decision tree, right? And we're going to start from the very beginning. So here I have a root node, right? And I use location code for the first split, right? And there's three locations: rural, urban, suburban. Let's switch to the sunburst visualization. So we read the sunburst in visualizations from the inside out. The inner circle means those are the total, the all claims in the data, right? 100% of data. Next one is the first splitting column, right, for the tree, which is what? Location code, right? And location code is split, it has three values: suburban, rural, and urban. And we took different tree paths depending on the value, right? So here, notice that from here you can see that more than half of claims are for suburban location, right? You can look at this at the segment size, right? And I can hover to see the actual percentage here, and this is the average total claim amount for suburban. Then I can similarly hover and see the average claim amount for rural and for urban. Now, do you see that little border line around here? That means that that section, that segment can be further drilled down, right? We can further expand it. Let's click on the suburban here. When I click on it, it's going to use the next, it's going to show me the next splitting column in the tree. So if I look at the tree diagram at the same time, right, do you see that? We are expanding the suburban branch here, right? We're expanding it. And here we're looking at the vehicle class for the next split, right? But again, in here, we cannot see the percentage of claims to which the rule applies. But when I click on the sunburst, I can see it, right? So I see that about 40%, right, slightly more than 40% of my claims are for suburban location, and those are two-door or four-door cars. See this? So here, basically, the suburban section, right, here is split further based on the vehicle class, right? So we have like 3% of the SUV, right? So that's about the 3% of the 3% segment of the circle, right? See that? You can easily see it here, while you could not see it on the decision tree without hovering over a node at a time. So here, this is basically the percentage of the claims where location is suburban and the vehicle class is SUV or sports car, right? So here, this is location in suburban and the vehicle is two-door or four-door car. And you hover to see the average total claim amount. So you can still read the rules, right, just by going from inside out, and you also see the percentage, right? See that because the segment slice, right? The how big is the segment, right? It depends on the percentage. So now I want to look further at the two-door and four-door car. I would click here and I can see the next one. It's splitting this here based on what? On a coverage type, right? So here I can easily see that I have 27% of claims where the location is suburban and we have a two or four door car and the coverage type is basic, right? And I can also see the average total claim amount when I hover. I see the exact average number. But keep in mind that the shade, right? The shade here shows the average total claim amount. The darker is the segment, the higher is the total claim amount. That's a legend, right? Well, unfortunately here, we cannot change the color we use, right? Because this is data exploration, you cannot change the color. Next, you can click on basic and you keep going, right? So basic further split into the marital status. We have single and married or divorced. But if you read this and look at the tree diagram at the same time, take a look at that. This is equivalent to expanding the tree diagram, right? See this? A split at a time. See that? So to read the rules, if we look at the tree, to read the rules, you traverse from root node to the terminal node until you reach the end, right? And see this, if you see this little like a border here, it means that this node is not the terminal node, it can be expanded. See, it's like a little shadow under. And similar for the tree sunburst, right? You can see when the section can be further expanded. Like here, do you see that when location was suburban and you're looking at this UV and sports car, do you see this dark line in here? It means that we could expand this further, see? So I can see when I click on this here, the slice, I can see that for SUV and sports car, we also have the basic coverage type, right? An extended coverage type. So if I hover over this segment here, so this is, I can see that I have 10% of claims where location is suburban and the vehicle type is SUV or sports car and coverage is basic, right? So I can keep on drilling through and looking at the percentages. And also remember from the last video that you can also see the rules in English language. In other words, you have three ways to look at your rules. You can do decision tree diagram, you can do the sunburst, or you can read the actual rules in English. All right, everyone, this was a short presentation on the sunburst, on the tree sunburst for the claims and weather data. All right, thank you for watching this video. See you shortly.